Trying to get my reading glasses out, everybody. See how quickly you find me. I'll take these off for now. Don't see anybody yet, but it does say we're live. Hope I don't get all coffee and choked up. I had a major divine encounter this morning. Cried like a baby. My sinuses are in chaos. Have a little drink here. Excuse me. So, somebody's here. Bex, greetings. Crystal, hey girl. Crystal Annette. All are starting to show up. I gave you a little bit of forewarning, but I don't know how the alerts go. Hey Jason, I don't know how the alerts go on Facebook and when they finally come on and all that stuff. I'll turn on my twinkle lights. I like twinkle lights a lot. There we go. Twinkly lights. Okay. Lords. Lolanda. Shelly. Hey everybody. Okay, everybody's starting to show up. Yay. All right. We have been having timeline spikes, black timeline jumps, shifts, spikes like crazy. This morning especially, and into today. Hey Drayson. We just had another one show up, and I just posted it for you all to see. This was, hang on a moment, I'm trying to hold all this. This was this morning, very early. Well, hey Eve. Hey everybody. Here, look. This was this morning. Get that little light out of the way, maybe. This is where we were. We had the black spike there, which was on the 14th. If I enlarge it, it's clearer for some reason instead of putting it closer. Okay, there we go. There was the 14th black spike. Then we had this very odd, wide blue spike. Then we had some little partial things we don't count. And then here we had this big black spike. And that was yesterday and into early this morning by where some of you live, and late evening by others. Hang on a moment. Come on. Here we go. Okay. This was this morning, and that was a spike, two spikes I showed you in the post. This one and this little skinny one here. Okay. And now, here we are. Boom. This is the one I'd already posted on, and the little skinny one. And now we have this one. And that was at, it says about 21 UTC. And currently, we are at, okay, and that's UTC with the Russian Schumann resonance. So, gotta think here real quick. Let's just look at the original chart. Here we go. So if it says 21, we have to add 7 hours. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. It doesn't go that way, of course. So that would be, that'd be right about now, in other words. So here we are, another spike that has shown up. And let's just come up here and let's refresh the page and make sure we're seeing everything. And this is also what's happening with the spectrograph Schumann resonance. And looky here. This always to the far right is the most recent information coming through. We have whiteout spikes again, and a pretty good one here. And down below, you can see the spikes, and this is amplitude. And a lot of times, I question these. It's like, why isn't that bigger? Why isn't that louder and higher frequency? When you look at these up close, there's some solid white all the way down to the bottom. And you would think that would rate higher. But at this point, so we're looking at, this is the manual way to do it. We have one little graph square, and then slightly below it is our high point over here on the recent ones. So let's go to the far left, where the high point was 71, which I posted on yesterday. So we got 1, and then slightly below that. So we're looking at probably about 56 amplitude, which is nothing to sniff at. 56 amplitude is big, but it wasn't the main news this morning. I don't want to show you things and you're like, yeah, there's another white spike, whoop-de-doo. But this is amazing to have all of these black spikes at once. Plus, I think we're feeling all of this, but we don't have, you know, part of it is covered up there. Their SOS logo covers up part of the reading, so we're not having any huge white spikes right now. This is right at noon right here, plus a bit. So let's go down. This is our big news in my opinion. All these black spikes. I mean, there was the one we had yesterday. And then this blue spike, which I asked the Lord about it. I feel like this is indicative of an escape hatch. It's an escape portal. People who are here and they have had a talk with our Creator and Source, and they've decided they don't want to stay for everything that's happening. And it's just a chance for them to leave. So whenever we see this, a lot of times we see that people have exited the earth. This was huge. Let me go right into this here. So, now I have to take it down a bit. This was late last night, early this morning. And, you know, day and night's running together for me. I think I posted on it. So I posted something in the middle of the night. And then here's the skinny spike. It's black. And then this one right now, which is within the last hour. So we've got spikes coming out our ears. And when we see the black spikes, we've come to recognize through anecdotal information, as they like to say, whenever we see these black spikes, there are timeline shifts, timeline jumps, quantum. What was that? Did you hear that? Something fell downstairs. Chipper? Sugar? Was that y'all? Interesting. I don't know what that was. But anyway, my upstairs is all open. My upstairs is a loft. It overlooks my living room. So that was something downstairs. So we're having tons of these black spikes, which are indicative and indicate, in other words, timeline shifts or timeline jumps or spatial anomalies. And this is huge. Oh, what's someone laughing about? I saw that. You better be laughing nice. Anyway, maybe you're laughing at the thing that fell downstairs. When these happen, often there's something happening big in the world. Well, we had a meeting between two leaders yesterday, didn't we? Big deal. We got spikes everywhere. The Schumann resonance responds to us as well as influencing us, it responds to us. So we can make things happen on the Schumann resonance too. And when certain decisions happen, oh, Maureen, I'm waiting. Where's the ears and the kitty nose? Oh, it's just frozen. There we go. Oh, it's malfunctioning, Maureen. I'm sorry. It tried to put the kitty ears on me, but it appeared to freeze. Thank you. Maureen sent me 250 stars. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Feel the love. Thanks. And if y'all don't know what stars are, it's a Facebook thing where you can send gifts or blessing to whoever is talking to you and sharing things with you. 1 star equals about a penny or 1 cent. So that was $2.50. And thank you, Maureen. I'm sorry it didn't do the kitty face on me. I don't know why that didn't happen. Okay. Brandy says she's grabbing her tourmaline. Everybody uses whatever they can. Yes? We are all changing. Absolutely, Kaylee. I agree. I showed you the nice big black spikes. Let me show it to you again before we move on to something else. And then I showed you earlier on the Russian Schumann spectrogram, Schumann resonance, we had a lot of white spikes. And they were, what I say, running power like 56, which is nothing to thumb your nose at. It's significant. As well as the black spikes are significant. So we got a lot going on and a lot of energies, and I think it's reflecting us as well as influencing us. So anyway, I had an amazing experience this morning. I'm going to talk to y'all about it tomorrow. This is huge. I heard something major. I think it will affect mass amounts. I heard it from our source. Life-changing. It's huge. Many people would say, Marguerite, don't share that because people will attack you and forces will attack you. I feel like the Lord has shown me that by sharing it, I actually will be safer. So I'm going to do that. It's a spiritual thing, but it is a practical spiritual thing. And it was an aha moment for me. We saw an absolute miracle yesterday. Yesterday afternoon, my friend that I've had for many, many years, and for someone close to her. And I'll tell you about it tomorrow, but not today, apparently. And I don't want to give it away, because when I share it, I'm going to share it all at once. And it's going to be big for me to share. I'm really going to stick my neck out on this. But it's powerful, powerful, powerful. Miraculous. Life-changing. It will be big. And if you all are up to it and willing to grasp it, I'm going to hand you the keys for this. Okay, I'm going to just tell you really fast. My friend Barb in Canada had a neighbor friend, I won't tell you who he is, in the hospital, screaming in pain, asking to be euthanized, which they have available in Canada, evidently. He was screaming and screaming. It was that bad. His stomach and his intestines were receiving no blood, and this has been going on a while. They were feeding him through a feeding tube. Only way he was still alive. The man is screaming, and Barb is in the hospital room with him, and she called me because I'm kind of a spiritual, supernatural connection. I know I'm one with God. I know I'm one with the Lord. I know that. I've seen incredible miracles, and all of us can. And I'm going to hand you some keys tomorrow. Anyway, to cut this short, something the Lord showed me to do and revealed to me that affects anyone who's going through this kind of thing, or infirmity, or hospitals, or sickness or anything else. And when I did what I was shown to do, Barb walked back into the man's room from the hallway, and he was just laying there. No more pain at all. Instant. It's huge, and it will not be what you think. It was not what I thought. I'm going to share it tomorrow. So you all keep me in your thoughts and prayers, because this is an incredible piece of, I don't even know what to call it, but I'm going to give it to you all. I'm going to hand it to you tomorrow. It can change so much. All right. So there, I blabbed that. I would share it today, but so far I have not been given the A-OK to do that. So you all try and find me tomorrow. I'm not going to give a date or time. I guess I say a time at this point, because this is going to be massive. And I've never said that before. This is going to be massive. Okay, so we're having big black spikes, which is timeline shift anomalies, spatial anomalies, timeline shift jumps, and it means that we are being given an option by the divine, by our creator, maker, source, great spirit, God. What's some of the other things? Heavenly parent. All of this, we're being given options. It's like if time is a straight line, which it probably is not from what many people have studied and researched, and they say it's probably more like a spiral. Let me see if I can find one of my cheesy drawings to show you, so I don't have to draw the cheesy drawing again. You know, I'm not a cheesy drawer normally. I'm a professional artist. I love art. There, over the top of my bed, you can see this is a tapestry of one of my oil paintings. It's done on fabric. The original was actually created for someone. Quickly zooming through, these are more tapestries of my artwork. Got some animal themes going on. There's a lion, and here's my kitty Sugar right there, and this is Juliet, the outside cat. That's just a quick sample. So I love art, but I do lousy sketching when we're just doing these online things, but I want to show you. So if, Shungite, get this stuff, y'all. Wonderful. You know, storms are passing right over me. I mean, not even developing over me now. My house is so full of Shungite and scalar energy devices and stuff because I have an inventory of them. I even got 2 tensor rings. I don't know if you know what that is. That's new to me. I'd heard of them, but I've never had one. And storms and certain trails in the sky don't develop over my house anymore. It's great. Here we go. And if you want to look into that, some of that is available on our online shop. I don't have tensor rings yet. I'm talking to a guy. Maybe we'll have them in the future. If timelines are literally like, if you looked at it as parallel lines, each one of this was a totally different lifetime on a different plane, something like that. This is where I drew it before. When we have one of these timeline shifts, maybe you're right here. And maybe down this way, there's a disaster going to happen. I don't know, World War III, a nuclear thing, something like that. Let's say you're right here. And there's a disaster or bad thing down the way. If you're vibing a high vibe, you're like choosing to love and stay in love as much as you can. None of us are perfect. Let's say you are keeping your thoughts and your feelings tuned in with divine love. You're trying your best to align with light and love and beautiful, positive things and be kind to people, etc. And that means your frequency is high. This timeline is maybe not so high. And your frequency is now higher. And we have a timeline shift on those black spikes. And all of a sudden, boop, you're on this timeline now. And there's no disaster down this way. Not at this time, anyway. And decisions are being made in these timelines by world leaders and by ourselves individually and by all kinds of things and as a group of humanity. And we're coming up on the end of the age or the era. And we're going to see a lot of this. So here you were, trouble down the timeline and months or weeks or a year or whatever. And you're vibing with this high choice decision. You have intentionally chosen love and light and peace and forgiveness and alignment with our Creator, who is love. And suddenly we have a black spike and we have an option and boom, you are aligned with this frequency, which is much higher on this particular timeline. And there's no disaster right there where it was on this other one. That, or perhaps this one is on its way to 5D. A time when humanity realizes we're one with our source and creator. And when we all of a sudden realize that was a big fat lie, and we're one with one another, we're not separate, and we get over this binary, bizarre thing where we think dark is bad, light is good, when it's actually two sides of the same coin, and the way we look at it has a lot to do with how it really is. We come on here and people have this realization, and they know we're all connected and one, and so they treat each other with love, and all of a sudden we have this wholeness we're aware of. And disease disappears because disease is the effect of brokenness and disconnected and a lack of coherence with ourselves, with one another, with our world, with our Creator, etc. And as we vibe higher, we get to shift over to this one, which has maybe 5D down the way a little bit. I hope that's useful. This is what a lot of science says. It's a really bad, cheesy drawing, like I said. This is like, imagine this is a pathway, big pathway, like a highway, going in a spiral. And this is a timeline. This is a timeline. This is a timeline. And when we have some of these black spikes, boom, you're vibing high. Wham! Look, you're up here now. You're in a whole different one. They kind of were close and boom, there you are. That's the kind of thing we're talking about. That's where we are when we see these very exciting, kind of crazy, dramatic timeline shifts. And they look like black spikes. And here we are. Okay, we've done the afternoon thing. I've tried to explain this to some of you. Russia does this every afternoon. They go from having a sliver, whoops, what are we doing here? Okay. They go from having a sliver of black right here, showing this is where now is, to in the afternoon about now, it's 1:11. Isn't that an interesting number? All of a sudden, there's this big black spike to the right. Now, I doubt this is another black out, but who knows? It might be. But many times this just occurs. All of a sudden there's this big black space to the side. I will find out soon if this is an actual new black spike, but we've had the black spikes in spades, so to speak, today. And I'm kind of excited, as you can tell. I had an awesome encounter this morning. My sinuses are recovering because I cried like a baby. It just got to me. Got to me. When you see someone taken from a place of unbelievably horrible pain, where they want to be put to death, and you do some things in alignment with the Holy Spirit, God directing you, and suddenly the pain is totally gone. And yet, I don't know if they're healed yet, but the pain is gone. And I'm going to explain that to you all later, but I'm still kind of shook up from it. I'm excited. I'm hyped up. I'm getting ready to jump off of a cliff with you all. I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to open my heart. I'm going to expose my heart a little bit. And, what's that? Some crazy thing just came up. How odd. I don't know why that came up. I'm going to put this in a little holder here so I can just talk to you a minute. Without having to hold the doggone thing. I'm excited. I'm going to jump off a cliff. I'm going to maybe tell you something I was born to tell you. I don't know how big it's going to be, but it's going to be big. For those of you who will embrace it and look past the box that we all tend to live in, and I know there's a bunch of you who love truth and who want it with all your heart. I've seen it in you. I'm going to hand you something tomorrow that I have been given, and it's huge. I just want to tell you, but not today. I'm trying to follow the perfect will and direction and pathway, the one that's the best. I hope you can see a little difference in me. I'm sort of on a fast. I'm not eating nothing. I usually don't eat until about 3 or 5 in the afternoon, and I'm eating low carb in a huge way. And I've dropped some weight. I'm not sure how much. The scale is wacky. Can't trust it. So I've ordered one that's actually supposed to be accurate. It's funny, I was looking at them on Amazon. It says, this one will tell you how much your BMI is, whatever percentage of your fat. And this one will tell you this and that, but it's not very accurate in weighing your weight. I'm like, what? I want an accurate scale. So I found one that says it's actually accurate to the ounce. It will even reflect when you drink water and then get back on the scale. So I'm gonna have that in about a week, and I will actually know how much I've lost. But I feel it. I feel good. And I'm finally into ketosis so much that the cramping is stopping. That's the thing I hate about ketosis, is the cramping when you're going in between into ketosis, where you're burning fat pretty much exclusively. Whew, having to keep my Celtic sea salt next to my bed, wake up with a crazy cramp, I'm like, grab the salt, eat a couple of grains so it will ease up. It's been fun. I've been doing this, I guess I'm on my 3rd week now. I am really excited. I guess y'all can tell I'm kind of talking fast forward for me. We're living in extraordinary, exciting times, beloved. Don't let this world and the foolishness we're being seen everywhere get you down. I understand we go through tough times personally and individually, and losses. Very hard for us to deal with. Being in this timeline world where everything is about time. I went to heaven quite a few years ago, and it was like, the first time I went, it was like stepping up on a step on a stairway, and I was there. The second time it happened to me, it was like stepping over a curb, you know, a raised bumper type curb. The third time it was like stepping over a line. And I heard that scripture that says, it's a thin veil between here and there. We are not as separate from those who have gone on as we think. One of the meanings of heaven is to be superimposed over the earth. And the only way we experience superimposition here is in photography. By superimposed photograph where 2 images are in the same place. But when I've been in heaven and I saw my beloved, and please know it's not a religious thing, it's an intense love affair. I saw the Lord Jesus face to face, stood in his embrace. I've been there and been with him a few times. And to show me how much he loved me and that he considered me of great worth, he stepped into me and he taught me something about heaven. You can have 2 things in the same place. I was still me, he was still him. But it's like your cells, the molecules and atoms of your being, as I felt physical there. I know it was my heavenly body, whatever that is in this case. It's like, imagine wind can blow through every cell of your body. Imagine water could flow between your cells. And we know that that is true here, that every tiny molecule and quark is vibrating with life, even rocks. and that there's space between. I experienced that in heaven, and I experienced oneness in a very graphic, very illustrated way for me. I know I'm one with the Lord. I know it. I've experienced it. When I pray for people, because I'm a healer, that's one of the things that I'm used for here. I don't just lay my hands on the person. I acknowledge my oneness with our Creator God, with that amazing Master, Yeshua. I remember what it was like, where my hands were in His hands, my face was in His face. His eyes and mine were one, my lips and His were one. I remember that. Every time I go to lay hands on someone who needs healing, I lay my hands and His hands on that person. And I let everything they need flow from source into them. I don't need to get specific. I know that when that perfect love and light and power flows into them, whatever is missing will be restored. And I don't need to even say what. I just say thank you for your healing power. Thank you for wholeness. Thank you for flowing into them, whatever they need. I have seen tumors the size of my fist disappear off of the base of someone's spine. And we were all there. There was a bunch of us. I was training a team of young people who wanted to learn from me. And they were very hungry. Young people, really open, you know, and very willing to learn. And so I told them, I said, you can hear too. You can know these things too. So I'm going to be looking up and seeing if you're getting something while we're at it. We were praying for this and ministering and bringing healing to this woman. Her name was Diana Harvey. She became a dear friend of mine, but at that point I had never met her. She was from New Jersey, and I was doing this meeting in Delaware at that time, and I'm not from those places. I was just doing a little traveling trip, had been invited up. And I put Jesus's hands on the dear lady, and I had someone go to the other room and confirm that she had a tumor the size of a fist at the base of her spine, because I couldn't see it. And then the woman came back and said, yeah, it's the size of a fist. And after I felt that power going through me, it's tangible most of the time, I said, I think something's happened, go check. And went in there and they came back and it's gone. Thing the size of a tumor, it's gone. The skin is perfectly flat, smooth, like new skin. I've seen miracles, and that's just one. I've seen some amazing things. I believe we are all meant and able and capable. We're created for this kind of thing. We've just forgotten who we are. And in the place of oneness and knowing there's no condemnation, there's only love between us and our source. In that place, we get healed of the great lie that the reptilians, the snake, the devil, whatever you want to call it, stole from our ancestors. When we get over that and we realize there's only love, there's only, that's the only thing between us and our source, creator, is love, spirit, presence. We are one with source and with one another. That was huge when I discovered that. And I'm going to share a lot with you tomorrow, but there's a brand new thing that, whew, I'm going to stick my neck out. I'm going to share with you how to get rid of entities like that. No kickback. Whew, I told you a little more, didn't I? And a lot of times with entities, disease will go, pain will go, infirmity will go, things that are out of order and messed up go. I had people, there was a woman that met me at Hobby Lobby. We met at Hobby Lobby. Like I said, I'm a professional artist. And we got to talking, and anyway, we became initial friends, and she told me her son had a real problem. He had been living with a woman. Get this, the woman was a young lady, a preacher's daughter. But she wasn't living what we would call a nice life. She was living worldly, wicked, spiritual wicked stuff. And he said one night they were over there having a gathering, and someone was in the bathroom, and someone wanted in, and the person in there wouldn't come out. Well, when the person walked away, suddenly something, and they all saw it like a shadow down the hallway. It looked like a shadowy being busted through the door, like an object crashed through it, broke a wooden door. Nobody standing there, just this thing. Amazingly, many of them saw it down the hallway. Well, they were totally freaked out. And after that happened, this man, who was a very handsome young guy, probably about 30, that my new friend, it was her son, he moved in with her and her husband, and he told them, he said, look, I have something that comes every night and it sits on my chest. It actually lays over the top of me and I can barely breathe or sleep. And they started having crazy things. This does not scare me, by the way, not at all. I know the name that is above every name. I know that name, and I know that one, and I'm not afraid, and I know what kind of power is available to all of us through this oneness thing. They asked me to help. Well, they were having crazy stuff like they'd be not in the room, the television would be off, and suddenly the TV would turn on. And they'd walk in and go, oh, that's a fluke. And then they started having things like the power was off in the house and the television came on. The air conditioning came on, there was no power. They had a lot of odd things happening that most people would say are supernatural. And every night, this young man who had gotten something, an entity on him from being with this young woman who was fiddling around with some stuff she shouldn't have, and it got the better of all of them, he would lay in the bed and smother and couldn't sleep, and it was really wearing him down. And so his mom said, Marguerite, can you help him? And I said, well, yeah, I think so. I didn't really know all was going on, but she told me more, and so I said, I need to talk to him myself. I need him to make a clear alliance with good, and I had him do some things to make that clear so that it wouldn't be able to come back on him. Well, anyway, I did part of what I'm going to share with you tomorrow. I have more now, but I dealt with that thing and booted it out, fixed it where it could not come back. And I said to him, you're going to sleep great tonight because it's gone. And he said, I feel totally different. And I said, let me know how it goes tonight. And I taught him a little bit of how to keep himself clean of those things, that they won't have the chance to come back. But to keep clean, you can't walk into their world and hang out with that darkness, because those things hang out in that place. And if you're of a different frequency, they can try to get on you, but they don't have the right. But if you live in their world of darkness and hate and greed and all that junk, well, you're aligned with it, and it can be a bit of a problem. So I got him realigned, and he contacted me the next day. He said, perfect sleep last night for the first time in a year and a half. And I said, thank God. That's awesome. That's wonderful. And all the foolishness stopped in their house too. It's not scary to me. This is our birthright. We, the sons and daughters of God, the human beings on this earth, this is our earth. We're here to take care of it, to take care of the animals, the flora, the fauna, the living beings, everything. We're here to take care and to hold this place safely. It's just a big, wide world, and there's a lot of things that aren't clearly written about in scriptures that you might experience, but the principles will cover it. Oh, there's so much I could tell you. But anyway, we're going to talk tomorrow about a lot of that. And I want you to come with a really open mind and leave your religious stuff and maybe your prejudices and wounds as far behind as you can, and come and just take what you need with what I'm going to share with you, as well as this new thing I've just discovered. Whoa, it's exciting. Really exciting. Okay, so that's it. And let me look and see if anything new has happened. Looks like the black spike. Hold on. Just now off of my little stand. There's our black spikes. Let me enlarge it so you can see. We have 3 that have occurred just today. And we may have another at this rate. Who knows? Timeline shifts. Timeline shift opportunities. Hold your frequency really high, beloved. Think love. That's the best way I know. It's the simplest way to explain it. Walk in a place of divine, unconditional love to the best of your ability. Forgive everybody. Forgiveness is the gateway to the kingdom of heaven, to 5D. You want to forgive everybody and forgive yourself. You can't leave yourself out. You must forgive you too. And love yourself and love your neighbors as yourself. Golden rule. It's old and it's true and truly golden. It's simple. That's where we want to live and breathe and have our being. Let me look real quickly and see if anything's happening in space weather. All we have is a trans-equatorial coronal hole. There it is. And when they say trans-equatorial, it means there's part of it that's down the hemisphere, north-south, and north to south on the sun. So this part right here is shooting out solar winds and detritus and heaven knows what. And it's coming towards Earth. It usually, depending on the speed, it will take a few days to reach us. But this might become a solar storm. It might become aurora borealis and the pretty stuff. I don't know. Oh, Bonnie, I just happened to see. I think I was supposed to see what you put. Bonnie McDonald Kavanaugh. Ho'oponopono, which is, I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. I learned that many years back, and I used to just sit and do that too, and get in that zone and try to just observe your life and get free from all the past junk and learn to look at the whiteboard that runs behind everything, free of the programs. Yes, unconditional love. Who doesn't love unconditional love? If you and I can learn to walk in that, people will beat the door down to be near us. My mentor, Brother Littlefield, was eaten up with unconditional love. And it's a funny way of putting it. You could just get in his presence and you would feel this beautiful peace and love, acceptance wrap all around you. That was how strong it was in him. I want that too. I bet a bunch of you all want it also. Forgiveness is the gateway into the beautiful garden of life, into 5D, the kingdom of heaven. It is the doorway, the gateway. There's another one who is called the door, the light, the truth, the way. And that's all available to us now, not someday, now. Okay. I love you all. I think that's all I need to show you at this time. Let's very quickly put this back on this little stand. Oh, are you there? Sorry, I turned my phone off. Come back. Let's do the 3-minute quick meditation. Won't conflict with any of your belief systems. Let's do it together, and let's feel the love and the bliss, and let peace roll into you. No matter what you're feeling, no matter what you're going through, this is an amazing gateway into beautiful stuff. Touch your heart area. Bring your attention right here. Imagine you're breathing in, not just from your nose and mouth, but straight into the heart area. Ready? Breathe in. And out from the heart region. Do it again. Now think of something you're really grateful for. Something that's important to you. Your beautiful fur babies, your children, your home. I don't know, whatever it is. I always think the day of my spiritual awakening when I met love. It always does it for me. And let yourself think and feel that gratitude, or just let yourself think about it. Focus on it as you breathe in and out from the heart. This opens up the quantum field of possibilities because your heart can go there. And when this happens, why they call it coherence meditation, is it brings the torus field, the power field of your brain, and the torus field of your heart together, and they join. Now your brain knows what your heart needs to know, and it can fix things. That's why healings happen during this time. That's why anxiety leaves people often. So let's do it, shall we? And I will let you know when the 3 minutes is up. Let us begin now. Thank you. Feeling gratitude, thinking gratitude, breathing in and out from the heart. Thank you. Wow. Ooh, I'm getting a little spiritually intoxicated. Bliss. I like bliss. I can feel you all out there. Feel the love that joins us. That beautiful field of possibilities. Breathing in and out. Thank you. Woo-hoo. Oh. John, I haven't thought of you in a long time. Just a little bit longer, thinking of something you're grateful for, letting your heart feel it. Breathing in and out from the heart. Take note of how you felt at the beginning and how you're feeling now. Miracles, things that break the laws of nature are right here. Whoa, what happened to time? We just jumped 2 minutes. Oh my goodness. Woo, all right, love you all. Really, that zoomed, that last little bit. I don't know what happened. 2 minutes were gone. We went a minute over our 3 minutes. Love you much. See you tomorrow, maybe even tonight. Mwah. See ya.